not a musician, nor do I write poetry. But I'm sure a few of you have assumed that I do because of my hair. When I was young, yes, embarrassing moments. When I was young, I had a big afro, and what I remember, the earliest memory I have of this afro is every single Sunday, my mom would take my sister and I and put her between the knees and literally hot comb our hair. I hated it because my ears are slightly big, so I would have to sit like this and hold them so that they don't get burned. But that was my norm. That is what I knew. And I just stuck with it. As I grew older, I went to a multicultural school. And that was the first time in my life that I experienced prejudice. And all because of my hair. We were used to going to school with afros. My sister and I had huge afros. But at the school, we were not allowed to wear our hair in afros. So my mom always tried to save the situation. And she bunned our hair up. We had these huge buns. And we would go to school because that's what we knew. And a funny thing happened. All the kids made fun of us. They used to call us Fetko kids because it looked like Fetko. And almost every single day I would go home crying. I'm like, Mom, they're making fun of me. I don't like to be like this. I want to be different. I want to look like them. So, of course, my mom came to the rescue again. And she took us to this lady who straightened our hair. And because our hair has always been natural, this strange chemicals literally made my hair fall out. I had this huge gap on the left side, and I had to comb my hair like this so that the kids wouldn't make fun of me. And as painful as it was, I still stuck with it because, finally I'm one of the girls now. I have straight hair. And I was accepted, and they didn't make fun of me anymore. When I went to high school, I still had relaxed hair. Went to university, had relaxed hair, I did not mind. It was painful because whenever I would relax my hair, and for those who don't know what relaxing is, it's applying chemicals to straighten your hair. I would have these flakes every single time after I would apply these chemicals, and it would take about 2 to 3 days before my hair was back to normal. So I stuck with that hair. That's what I knew. And a very interesting thing happened. I'm having embarrassing photo day today. A very interesting thing happened. When I started working, I could finally afford weaves. It was cool. I did not have to struggle with relaxers every month or so to straighten my hair. I can have straight hair, curly hair, long hair, short hair. I could have anything I wanted. And one day, because I was a bit broke that one day, I could not have my weave in. So my hair was out, in its natural state, very awkward state, because part of it was relaxed, was straightened, and the rest of it was, my own natural hair, so it was very strange looking. And I remember walking down Independence Avenue in Windhoek, and this gentleman who had spoken to me the week before, was asking for my number when I had the nice hair. And the week after, he just walked past me, and I was like, okay, what is happening? And I realized, I'm still dressed the same. My style hasn't changed, but there is this little something that made him walk past me. And realizing that people reacted to me different based on the hair I had. So I decided, this is interesting. Let me do a little experiment, test people out a little bit. So in between my stages, I would have the weave for 1 week and my natural hair for the week after. And I started seeing this track. People would be nicer to me when I had straight hair. I was like, okay, this is interesting. They would say things to me like, oh, you're so neat. This is so you. Look so sophisticated, so professional. And the negative aspect of that is that people thought someone else was paying for my hair. They thought I could not afford. Like, oh, you must have a new boyfriend now. And I'm thinking, wait, but I'm working. How does this, And in between all of this, my daughter asked me a very important question. Mama, I also want long hair like yours. And I said, but this isn't my hair, darling, it's plastic. She's like, oh, but I also want to be beautiful. I also want to be like you. That was a big moment for me because I realized that everything I do and say is a living example to my children. And we can talk about, oh, you should do this and you should do that and so forth. But children live and learn by seeing what we do. So I did the next best thing. That's my daughter. This was the hair that she really liked, that she wanted. And I told her, you know what? Do I look nice? Do I look nice? So I told my daughter, you know what? You are beautiful. And just because your hair is kinky and curly and coily and not like everyone else does not mean that you are not beautiful. And as I said, we are living examples to our children and to the next generation. Yes, I have good hair. I have African in my family. And then I did the example. I cut my hair. Imagine living for years without consciously thinking of what you put on your hair. You're just going about your business, For the first time in years, that little girl who went to the multiracial school, I was afraid, just as I was when I was that little girl. Will my friends and my colleagues accept me? How are people going to react based on just my hair? The gentleman who walked past me? Will they react the same as that man did? Next to that fear, something else happened. For the first time in years, I could actually feel my hair. I could touch my texture, and it felt great. Having feedback from my colleagues was very, very great because I was like, I can't go to work like this. Which is very interesting because the like this is something that you were born with. And so after I cut my hair, I blogged about it. I love social media. So I was on there telling everyone, guys, I cut my hair, how do I look? And so many other people were going through the same thing. They're like, wait, but you cut your hair. Oh, I also cut my hair. This and this has been going on, etc., etc. And I said, oh, okay, wait, I'm not the only one going through this. There's a whole lot of other people feeling the same and who've had the same reactions from people, whether they like it or they don't like it, etc. And with this, we decided, you know what? As Africans, we love telling stories. And what better way to come together than through events? These are just some of the events that we hosted. And I say we because it was a collective effort. The idea of these gatherings is to challenge the norm, to get away from this is how society perceives beauty, to this is going to be our definition of beauty. We decided, you know what, with this platform, and there were not only women. I know in that picture there was a whole lot of women. But the first event, there were quite a lot of men as well. There were children as well. There were all types of races, all types of cultures. Everyone came together. And this is a platform we decided, okay, we will set the standard. We will define things for ourselves. Of course, we'd had debates about the natural versus weaves debate. But most of all, we were going to debunk stereotypes. And I'm sure all of us can relate. We've all been stereotyped at some point or another in our lives. And with this debate came something interesting. Like I said, this big movement of naturals versus people who are not natural. And by natural, I mean something like chemicals that have not altered your hair. That is a natural state. It's very interesting how we already have so much against ourselves that we have to find something else to argue about. And with all of this debate and this excitement and people asking questions and so forth, my daughter did something else again. she locked her hair. It was one December, a few years ago. We were at the coast we were in Soko. And prior to that year, we had gone to dance class, African dance class. And there were 3 of my friends who also have locked hair. So my daughter joined and she's like, Mama, the hair can grow, no? And I said, yes, natural hair can grow. Oh, I also want hair like that. So she literally looked at living examples through my friends. And she wanted to be one of them. Not some girl in a magazine, not some girl on TV, but actual people that she could see. So through all of this, she started a new school. In fact, both of them. That's my son. They started a new school, and this school was strict. I kid you not, I read the rule books, and you may not do this, you may not do that, what. But one of the things that they mentioned, which really stood out to me, was as long as your hair is neat, it does not fall in your face, and does not go over your collar, good to go. I was like, okay, that's good. It works again for me and not against me. So my daughter went to school, and I got a call from the principal. Excuse me, sorry, your daughter's hair. I was like, your daughter's hair, can you please cover it? I was so confused. I was like, cover with what? I took it upon myself to go to this principal with the rule book. And I said, dear Miss Principal, we shall not mention names. In the rule book, it says this, this, and this. So according to the rules, she follows them. And she kept on. No, other parents will find it very offensive. Offensive, hey. And I decided, you know what, this has to come from another place. So let me try and re-educate her, because natural hair is so African, really. So I told her, dear principal, what is going on here has nothing to do with here and with here. So as long as I pay my school fees, my daughter is going to go for her education. And she's pretty smart, so I think she'll contribute positively to your school. And that was that. I am very proud to say now my daughter is a prefect at the school, and she still has locks. And she started a little revolution. I think I saw like 4 other children with locks on their head. After the conversation I had with the principal, I realized that there was a certain fear, a certain negative connotation to this entire thing, because you can't really tell a little child to cover their hair. And I realized that all of these negative perceptions that we have of black hair is due to generations and generations and generations and generations of such negativity that has been passed on to generation 4. Hopefully we can change that. And we accept it as a truth. It's just normal. We don't question it anymore. And with this, there were some stereotypes. People have assumptions and are so quick to hand out these type of assumptions. And I'll try as much as possible to debunk these stereotypes today. And they come from these talks that we've had, these engagements with the different communities and social media and so forth. All naturals are vegetarian. I like chicken, so I think everyone has a choice and a prerogative to choose what lifestyle they want. Naturals don't wear deodorant or wash their hair. Yes, we do wash our hair, I'm sure we do. Jazz, for the love of jazz, also known as the soul sister. For some reason, there is this idea that when you're natural, then you're all of a sudden soulful and, you're just there burning incense and you're chanting and you're dancing around fires and you are in touch with yourself. have to tell you, remember when I had that weave on? I used to listen to jazz because of my parents. They love jazz. There is not a certain type of when you become natural or return to natural, you are suddenly this different person. Are you an artist or a journalist? Do you play the guitar? Guys, I cannot play any musical instrument. I studied art, yes. Journalism, no. But there's also this certain assumption that when you are suddenly free, I would call it, is that now all of a sudden you're also artistic and creative and more in touch with your innovative self. All naturals are fighting the system and have radical beliefs. Natural hair isn't neat, it's ugly, it's unkempt. I've heard that a lot. And because of that stereotype, it has instilled a certain fear in some people because they think, what are people going to think? Will I be presentable in the boardroom? How are people going to perceive it? Oh, it's so hard to do natural hair. Guys, there's millions of YouTube channels and videos on how to maintain hair. You know, sometimes it's neat, sometimes it's not, but it is not because of the stereotype. Naturals dislike women with weave, relaxers, straighten hair. No, I will not even go into debate with that. It is not true. If you don't like someone, it is because of that person, not because of their hair. And my favorite. So I bet you only date Caucasian guys, right? Do you not just date humans? It is only hair after all. What I speak has little or nothing to do with the texture of my hair. It did not study or stay up late at night to finish an assignment. My hair is not raising my children, nor does it give speeches, influence public policy, or advocate for the issues I care most deeply about. It does not know how to speak. So with these little boxes that we carry around, that we are so quick to judge others and stereotype others, I would like to challenge everyone today. Next time you see someone with a funky hairstyle, grab them, invite them for a coffee and a chat, and let's get rid of the box. Thank you.